Hello YouTube, this is Dazzathecameraman. Today is Wednesday the 1st of January 2014. I'd like to wish all of my viewers and subscribers a happy new year and all the best for 2014. So we see another year completed, another year gone by. 2013 is now history. It's 2014 here in New Zealand. And it's been another year of predictions of Nibiru turning up, Planet X, heavy mass objects, pole shift, 3 days of darkness, meteors, doom and destruction. Yet another year of it. This time last year I was thinking back to what the next year would hold, and of course we had Comet Ison, and we're not finished with Comet Ison yet. We've still got all the doom prophecies from BP Earthwatch and others to look forward to for mid-January, and then we'll get past that one, and no doubt we'll have a new object of doom, because we've always got to have some doom to look forward to, otherwise where would we be? It's a bit like going to the movies and watching a good horror movie, or riding on a roller coaster. It seems that people just need that adrenaline, or maybe their lives are just so miserable that they just can't bear the thought of living in happiness without the fear of something coming from outer space to destroy us. Or I don't know what it is with some people, you know, and this planet YouTube, it seems to be like a alternative realities somehow, you know. You get away from the computer and you get away from YouTube and Facebook, and you get out into the real world where the sun is shining and the birds are singing, and certainly not falling out of the sky where I live, and you know, I'm not getting doused in chemtrails and poisoned alive and all of that. I go outside, I look at the sky, I look at the stars at night, I enjoy life, I enjoy nature around me, I enjoy the universe, and I look at its beauty and I appreciate it. But no doubt this time next year, 1st of January 2015, we'll be reviewing the latest doom and gloom. You know, as I said, we've had Nibiru, Planet X. I started getting involved in debunking back in March of 2011, following some very devastating earthquakes here in New Zealand and Christchurch. I've got family in Christchurch, and my mother actually lost her apartment building in the quake. She could not return to her apartment. She was very fortunate, because she was told that she could never return to her apartment and recover all of her property. It would be demolished with everything inside. But fortunately it was decided some months later that they would have to remove all of the contents of the building before it was demolished, so that they could use the rubble as clean fill in a reclamation in the Littleton Harbour. So she got a phone call out of the blue and was told that they were recovering all of her property, and she got everything back that she had already accepted that she had lost. Everything, all her personal effects and everything, she had accepted that they were gone. So that was March back in, well, it's actually started in September of 2010 was the first major earthquake in Christchurch, and there were continuous aftershocks. And then there was a devastating earthquake which killed many people in February of 2011, and again there were many aftershocks after that. Now, is that unusual? Yes, it is unusual to get a specific event, because things like that don't happen all over the place all of the time, of course, but we as humans have very short memories, and on a longer time scale, of course, yes, there are major earthquakes, especially if you live in areas like New Zealand, which is on the Pacific Rim of Fire. Just like Japan, we get a lot of earthquakes here, and there have been many major earthquakes here in New Zealand over a longer time scale. The last really devastating earthquake before the Christchurch earthquake was back in 1931 in Napier, and my father felt that one. He was about 10 years old when that one hit, and many people were killed in that earthquake. But these are the forces that shape the earth. They've been going on for millions of years, and now what caused the mountains and the valleys and all the features that we see on the earth. You know, Mount Everest has been pushing up for millions of years, and it's these natural Earth processes that do these things. It's nothing unusual. So it's not Nibiru, it's not Planet X, it's not Tyrrell's heavy mass object in our solar system. And as I say, getting back to the point I was making, I've been doing this since March 2011, when a New Zealander, Mr. Ken Ring, was making all sorts of predictions about earthquakes that were supposed to happen based on the cycles of the moon. And he forecast that there would be a massive earthquake in Christchurch on the 20th of March 2011, which was when we had the supermoon event for that year, and the moon was at its closest, I believe, in 18 years. So he was making big predictions of massive earthquakes in Christchurch, and thousands of people actually left town because they were so fearful of more earthquakes. And of course the massive earthquake that he forecast did not happen on that date. You know, just more needless fear-mongering, and just causing anxiety for people who are already very vulnerable. That's where I got involved, debunking these claims. I checked back on the history of earthquakes in New Zealand, and found that there was no link between the moon phases and major earthquakes in New Zealand, at least. In fact, I found, if anything, that there seemed to be more major earthquakes on dates that weren't full moon or new moon, when the sun, the moon and the earth are almost in a straight alignment. So I've watched Tyrrell 03, I've watched another favourite was Alexander Retrov back in 2011, who was saying that, hey, maybe 2012 is just a big conspiracy so that people would be deceived and caught out when the real event happens in 2011 instead. And he predicted 3 days of darkness and massive earthquakes, magnitude 15 earthquakes he was talking about, which of course is impossible if you actually understand how the magnitude scale actually works. A magnitude 15 earthquake is impossible from seismic activity. You would need to have something like you know, another body such as a planet hitting the Earth to generate that sort of force. It just can't be generated within seismic activity. It's impossible. And his 3 days of darkness that we were supposed to see in September of 2011, what did we see 2 years later in 2013? We saw Patty Broussard recycling all of the nonsense that Alexander Retrov had been spewing out in 2011. So no 3 days of darkness, no magnitude 15 earthquakes, and of course pole shift was another one. You know, I'm still waiting to see this pole shift, and here's a call out for Lance Lee Osborne on Facebook, who's always going on about pole shift, and Mr. Maverick Star is another one on YouTube. Still waiting to see this pole shift. Now, people keep posting items saying that pole shift has occurred. You know, the Earth's axis is off by I think I saw Mr. Maverick Star say something like it's gone from 23.5 degrees to 45 degrees. Well, please tell me, if that's the case, why is the northern pole star Polaris right where it should be, right where it has been for a very long time? Yes, it drifts very slowly, but it's still right where it should be, about 2/3 of 1 degree from the northern celestial pole. And why is it that we don't have to suddenly realign our satellite dishes to point at those satellites in Earth orbit? If the Earth is shifted on its axis, and we're not talking about magnetic pole shift, we're talking about a physical pole shift. If the Earth is tilted on its axis like this, then all the satellite dishes pointing at those geosynchronous satellites in the sky, they should be pointing in the wrong direction. But they're not. They're exactly where they should be. So there's 2013. No doubt we'll have another year of it once we've all forgotten about Comet Ison, and January has been and gone, and we haven't been bombarded with massive mile-wide meteorites and fireballs that BP Earthwatch was predicting. A new object of doom will be chosen. There'll be a new asteroid that's heading our way, or a new comet. Comets seem to be a favourite, don't they? People seem to pick on one comet at a time, like it was Comet Allen back in 2011 and Comet Ison in 2013. But what about all the other comets? You know, currently there are more than 200 comets within our solar system, but what about Comet Encke or Comet Lovejoy or Comet Linear? You know, where is all the doom and gloom about those ones? You know, I just don't get it. Comet Elenin, it was because Elenin, and so the doomsayers, the conspiracy theorists, all the people trying to cash in on their YouTube views because they've got their videos monetized, you know, some of them were saying that Elenin, Elenin, was a code for extinction level event Nibiru impact near, and other variations of that. And what happened? Comet Elenin disintegrated as it headed around the sun, or got near to the sun, and we never saw it. I never saw it with my naked eye. I don't know of anyone else who saw it with their naked eye. Yeah, sure, we saw lots of videos of aircraft contrails that people said, oh look, it's Comet Elenin, and we've seen that with Comet Ison as well. But anyway, that's my rant. Wishing you all well for 2014. Don't let the doomsayers get you down. Don't be a prisoner of fear and anxiety. All of this stuff is nonsense. I've been called out as being a paid government disinformation shill for 3 years now. No, I don't work for them. I don't get paid for what I do. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't. And I've been attacked in saying that, you know, I'm a disinformation agent and therefore what I'm saying isn't true. Well, what have I ever said that hasn't been true, you know? I've called out these doomsayers, these fearmongers. I've called out their claims, and I've said that their predictions are not true and they're not going to happen. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't been wrong in that. I don't pretend that I know everything. I'm learning, and often I have to go away and check things out. But I'm not going to be a prisoner of fear because of these fearmongers on YouTube and Facebook and, you know, other websites. And so I encourage people, you know, enjoy life. If you're interested in what's going on in the night sky, check out your local astronomy group. They're always welcoming new members. Even if you just want to go along as a casual visitor, or go along for one night or a few nights and check out what they do, and go and talk to the astronomers and ask them questions. They're usually a very friendly bunch and have a passion for astronomy, and they like to share that interest. You know, don't rely on YouTube videos for your information, even if that means not relying on mine. Go and read some books, go and join an astronomy club, go and do something positive, but, you know, don't rely on YouTube for your information about what is going on, because you will be led astray. You'll be told a lot of nonsense, and, you know, if we're talking about disinformation or misinformation, well, there's plenty of it on YouTube, you know. There's plenty of it on the internet. Just because it's in a YouTube video doesn't mean it's true. And yes, the same can be said for my videos. You know, don't take my word for it, check it out. But anyway, I stand by what I say. So anyway, wrapping this up, wishing you all a very happy and prosperous 2014. I hope that all your dreams come true. Be safe, everyone, and thank you for watching my videos throughout the year. Thank you to my subscribers, and all the best. Thank you for watching.